Looks like it looks like the Me Too movement has come after Mr. Elon Musk. It looks like Elon Musk has been accused of some really interesting things. And as I clean up my camera here, I just wanted to say hi to everybody. And so today I'm going to tell you guys what happened with Elon Musk. He's kind of been in the middle of a lot of drama lately. So we're going to talk about what happened and what my thoughts are. And we're going to break all this down for you. So get comfortable, buckle up a seatbelt. We're getting started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about Black wealth and Black economics every single day, sometimes as much as 10 times a day, under one condition. The condition is that we are Black first. Black first means we put our community at the top of our priority list. Black first means we educate our kids. Black first means we love Black women and Black women love Black men. Black first also means that we're going to teach our kids about wealth so that they can lead the world one day when it comes to economics and wealth building and the building of strong Black families. If you agree with the philosophy, put a hashtag B1 in the chat, hashtag B1. That's what we believe in. That's our calling card. All right, so let's talk about Elon Musk. So how many of you, give me a yes or no, how many of you have been following following what's going on with Elon and this whole situation with him buying Twitter and all this other stuff? Has anybody been paying attention to that? Let me know if you've been sort of noticing this. Elon Musk, as you know, the big conversation with Elon was that he was going to buy Twitter. He was going to buy Twitter for political reasons. A lot of people felt that he was going to do that because people feel that Twitter doesn't really allow free speech. They kind of censor certain people. They tend to be on the right as opposed to on the left. And so Elon Musk has been dealing with a lot of criticism as a result of his move. And so as we kind of pay attention to this story, and Judge Joe Brown says hello, tell the judge I said hi. Love Judge Joe Brown. He's a great guy. So the latest development is that, surprise, surprise, in the middle of all this, in the middle of Elon Musk trying to buy Twitter, a lot of people didn't like that. And then after that, he declared himself to be a Republican. He then interestingly made a tweet to say, let the political attacks begin. So he probably knew that this story was going to come out soon. And I think that's why he said what he said. Right? It sounds like he's predicting, but I don't think he was predicting. I think he knew that this information was going to be released. Well, apparently there's a woman who accused Elon Musk of some inappropriate behavior. Let's just say that. He's accused of being on a SpaceX flight, like a SpaceX flight attendant says this. Now, I guess because they have private jets and stuff with SpaceX. They weren't actually in outer space. And she says that when Elon was getting a massage, he whipped out his you know what? He pulled out his baby Elon and said, "Hey, can we get this party started?" And the woman says that she was paid $250,000 to remain silent about this. I'm gonna read some of this to you. Hit the thumbs up button as I read this. SpaceX reportedly paid a flight attendant $250,000 to ensure that she didn't speak out or sue the company after Elon Musk allegedly exposed himself and propositioned her for sex. According to one of the space flight attendant's friends, the alleged victim worked as a crew member on a SpaceX corporate flight. During one of the flights, the attendant told her friend Musk asked her for a full body massage in his room. Reportedly, that this was not unusual and that SpaceX had encouraged the attendant to get a masseuse license. During the massage, Musk allegedly removed the sheet that was covering the lower half of his body and showed his erect, you know what? While rubbing her leg, he reportedly offered to buy her a horse if she would do more. The allegations were relayed to Insider by one of the flight attendant's friends who was asked by the attendant's attorney to sign a declaration backing up the claims in 2018. The friend told Insider the attendant refused to carry out any sexual acts on Musk and that she was really upset following the flight. The friend also said SpaceX cut down on the number of shifts she was given following the incident, which the attendant saw as a sign of retaliation. According to Insider, the attendant filed a complaint to SpaceX's HR department in 2018, saying that her career at the company has suffered because of her refusal. The company reportedly took the complainant to a mediator, not to a court or arbitrator, and signed the attendant to a $250,000 severance agreement, barring her from saying anything bad about Musk or his companies, including SpaceX and Tesla. This included talking about the payment itself. Okay, so let's start with some basic questions. I got intelligent Black people in the building. I'm going to ask y'all some questions. Give me a yes or no. Yes or no. Okay, so right now Elon Musk is in the middle of some heavy politics. It sounds to me like he, did something that I I've gotten massages. I've never thought about wanking out my whatever. Like that would not be cool. So I'm not gonna on any level condone that kind of decision. It's definitely bad to do with your coworkers. So don't keep your shit in your pants, please. Don't be doing that. But I want to ask y'all, how many of y'all think it's a coincidence? Yes or no? Do you think it's a coincidence that this allegation came out now? Do you think it's a coincidence? Like, do you think that it just happened to come out now? Or do you think that maybe there's a hidden hand here in terms of making him look as bad as possible right at the optimal moment? What do y'all think? Y'all think it's a coincidence, or you think that it's like, okay, people are playing games here? Okay, I see some yeses and nos. Okay, Toronto and Valerie and Jerry. I see. Okay, Murray, no. All right, yeah, a plan. I think it's a plan. I don't think it's a coincidence. I think that there are games being played here. And here's the deal. Again, and I want to say all this without on any level condoning whipping out your junk to people who don't want to see it. I think that's obviously not cool. Fellas, don't do that. And also, especially if you're a black man, don't be whipping your stuff out trying to impress people. Impress her with your big black brain. Don't impress her with your let her find out the rest later on. Like, it start off a little more subtle than that. But I really am just really fascinated by by the dynamic in terms of how these things kind of play out, because a friend saying that my friend told me that this happened in this particular way is not the same as actual proof that something occurred or that it occurred in an inappropriate way. Because let's just be clear, people pull their junk out every day. People are having sex every day. That's how human beings, in case you don't know, some of y'all may not know this yet, but I'm gonna wow you real quick. Did you know that babies come from sex? That literally every single one of us, Wayno and Letha and everybody on Instagram, all of y'all got here today. Zachary, you're here now because somebody pulled out their junk and got busy. Y'all do know that, right? I know it's mind-boggling. It kind of shocks me. I'm here in front of you right now because my daddy pulled out his stuff and my mama pulled out her stuff, and they got it going, and y'all know the rest. So the point I'm making here is, just because somebody pulled out their stuff doesn't mean it happened in the way that one person says that it occurred, right? They're obviously the sequence and the order of events matters, right? If he pulled it out because she wanted it out, then that's one type of story. But if he pulled it out without asking permission or without letting her know, or he pulled it out and it was an uninvited guest to the party, then suddenly you're talking about millions of dollars in lawsuits and trauma and everything else, right? That's the conversation that gets had at that point. And I think that that's the part about all of this that is a little bit strange, is that we have this weird political environment where somebody came up with weird slogans like "Believe all women." Believe all women. And I'm gonna ask y'all a question about that slogan, "Believe all women." How many of you have heard that slogan before? Believe all women. That's that's a feminist slogan I've heard. Have you heard this? Believe all women, especially white women. You must believe all white women. Anybody heard that before? Well, the thing about believe all women that's really fascinating to me is that you're trying to convince me that women are not capable of lying. Now, how many of y'all believe women are capable of lying? I believe in equality. I believe women can do a lot of the things men can do. I mean, maybe some things a little harder than others. Like, my wife can't bench press as much as I can, but I believe women can lie just like men. So if you're trying to make an argument that women and men are equal, why would you put women in the baby car seat as if women are just incapable of telling a lie, like they're children? Women are not children. Women are grown. Women are adults. Women can be as loving and wonderful as anybody, can be as sneaky and conniving as anybody. We know this, right? All of us are normal human beings. So the politics sometimes makes us a little bit stupid. And also the politics in many cases can work against what you claim to be trying to accomplish. You claim to be accomplishing respect and dignity and equality for women. At the same time, you're trying to make the argument that women are just too stupid to know how to tell a lie. Women can lie, women can cheat, women can do all these things that men can do. So we should just stop that. And the reason that that they don't stop that, obviously, is because because it's not to their political advantage. There's an industry of people, and these are usually, unfortunately, some of them are victims, some of them are not, because the predators sneak in with the victims. The wolves put on sheep's clothing or the Little Red Riding Hood costume and pretend to be the innocent victims, to basically take advantage of the empathy that we have for real victims. And they come and they tell stories, and then they say, well, because I'm a woman, I'm not capable of telling a lie, so pay me, write me that check. Many of you are seeing this play out in real life right now with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. And a lot of women are hip to the game. Amber Heard was recorded by Johnny Depp. God bless him for getting this recording. Amber Heard, in case you don't know, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp are in this massive lawsuit right now where she ruined his career, cost him probably $50 million, and by basically taking advantage of something that she actually stated herself. She said, because I'm a woman, nobody's going to believe me. Everyone's going to believe me. Nobody's going to believe you. You are a man. No one's going to believe you. I'm a woman. Everybody's going to believe me. And she said this to him, and he recorded it and brought it to court. I thought that was wonderful. But the thing about it is that this shows you just how ridiculously sad and desperate the situation's gotten, that a man has to record the obvious for us to remember that the obvious still does exist. That all along we always knew that women can lie just like men do, and that women should have the same burden of proof as men. But for some reason, we forgot that. And so what I would say with this whole situation with Elon Musk, and I'm not here to defend Musk one way or the other. I do not know this guy. I told you, I think Elon Musk is a guy who is brilliant and capable, but he's slipped up in a couple major areas in my view. One of them is he made a horrible decision to try to bid for Twitter. He bid $54.20 a share for Twitter. I've been following Twitter stock since that time. It's now down to $36 a share. Nobody wants to pay $54 a share for a company that's worth $36. So now he's trying to get out of the deal. If he tries to get out of that deal, Twitter's going to sue the shit out of him, because they basically signed, they got a sweetheart contract, and they're going to be able to force him into doing what he has to do. So what he's trying to do is use the bots as a loophole to get out of this deal. And as Twitter stock continues to tumble, he's learning more and more that this is a bad move, because not only has Twitter stock declined in terms of value, but also his Tesla stock that he uses for collateral to get his loans is also dropping in value. So Elon Musk he's gonna pay a few $1 billion for his lack of discipline, in my opinion. For his, he might be in the right. His move might have been a righteous move, but I honestly wonder why he didn't try to make this move with a consortium of investors to spread the risk. When you make investments and they're not certain, or you're operating in an uncertain environment, or you're not sure if it's going to play out, that's what you do in financial theory. We call that risk sharing. You're supposed to share that risk with other people so that it doesn't all fall on you. But Elon Musk decided unilaterally, similar to George Bush going into Iraq all by himself with a coalition of the willing. Y'all remember that? George Bush claimed to have this coalition of countries that wanted to invade Iraq. It wasn't a coalition. It was the U.S. And the U.S. had to pay the whole bill for this horrible, unjust, worthless war that cost us 20 years, thousands of lives, a couple $1 trillion, and look at where we are now. So basically, with that being said, I also know with Elon Musk in his past, I've seen some of his relationships. To be such a smart guy, he's a little risky in his relationships with women. I think he's been married a bunch of times. I think he married the same lady twice. I got to go look it all up. But I remember reading about his relationships and his marriages, and I said, this is fascinating that a guy could accomplish that much when he's got so many unresolved issues as it pertains to women. So it's not out of the question that Elon Musk is trying to get some. I don't doubt it. I mean, come on now, seriously. I mean, how many of y'all are surprised when a man with a $200 billion net worth is trying to get a little ass? I mean, come on, seriously. I mean, some of y'all ladies in here, how many of y'all wouldn't think about considering giving them some? I mean, that's got to be attractive. I'm not saying that money is the only thing that makes a man attractive, but it sure helps, right? So the man's worth $200 billion. He's got a healthy sex drive. It doesn't surprise me if he tried some sort of advance toward the woman. Now, the question becomes, what is an appropriate advance? And here's the thing. This is where I feel, honestly, again, this is my 2 cents. I hope I can say this and still be loved. You don't have to agree. I just want us to think. We like to think about things critically on this channel. Studies show that the people you're most likely to go out and get busy with are people that you spend time with. And there are very few places you spend more time in your life than at work. You follow what I'm saying? Studies show this. Studies show that coworkers are always getting it on. whether we like it or not. God got another plan. Mother Nature is another plan. The universe designed you in a whole different way. You might act like sex don't exist, but that's until you get horny. Everybody in this room knows exactly what I'm talking about. And if you don't, then you need to go to the doctor, because that means your stuff don't work. Okay. And so basically, this idea that somehow we think that people, human beings, heterosexual or whatever, or even LGBT, human beings who are inherently going to be attracted to each other can work together for hours and hours at a time, and nobody makes a sexual advance, is a little bit odd to me. That's a weird, strange world to live in. So here's the thing, though. We still live in that world, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows people are always going to have sex, even when everybody acts like they're not doing it. It happens. So what we've done is we've structured society, though, where the sex is still going to happen. And as long as the woman is okay, and when women are fine with how it goes down, it's okay. But if it's not okay, if anything occurs that goes wrong later, like somebody breaks up or somebody gets mad at somebody, there's always an easy on-ramp to blame it on the man. There aren't that many examples where I can point to 1,000 examples of a man, a powerful man, who worked in an office. Maybe he's an office manager, a vice president, or whatever, and he's making a lot of money. And women are fawning after him. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Come on, don't act like you stupid. The women are coming after him. When I went to go to LA, and I made a movie. And everybody knew that I was Dr. Boyce Watkins, the Dr. Boyce Watkins. Everybody knew I was paying for this movie. Everybody knew that I was the big boss. When I walked in the room, everybody stood up. People clapped for me when I walked in. So all these Hollywood actresses, very pretty ladies, are all around. And they're like, oh, he's the guy, right? You don't think that somebody tried to hit on me as a result of that? You don't think that there was somebody who walked up and said, hey, I'd like to be your special friend? This is life. It's not bad. I mean, I didn't get mad. I didn't say, how dare you hit on me? That's so inappropriate. I should sue you for everything you have. I just said, thank you, but no, thank you. Because you ain't hemming me up like that. And, I'm not, thank you very much, but no, thank you. And the problem, though, is that this has happened since the beginning of time. I find it really fascinating that we've somehow concluded that when a man and a woman get together in the workplace, that it is always something inappropriate that the man must have done, even if it's a consensual situation. Now, clearly this wasn't. The way she told the story, it wasn't. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say this fits the example exactly, but what I'm saying here is, her friend is telling a story, and we don't know what's true and what's not true about that story. We don't know when he whipped it out, if he whipped it out. And I'm gonna tell you, I've had people whip things out. I was at an event one time where a lady literally put her titty on my shoulder. I swear to God, was up on me and had her boob right here on my shoulder. And you know what I did? I walked away and I laughed. I didn't turn and say, my God, I'm suing you. You just raped me. That was assault, ma'am. You need to be in prison. You need to pay me $300,000 right now. I'm taking you to court for $8.5 million. This is inappropriate. I'm traumatized. I need therapy. I didn't do all that. I said, get your titty off my shoulder. And I laughed and I walked away. That was it. So I'm not saying that everybody reacts to everything in the same way. I'm not saying, I do believe that women have a different response to these sorts of things than men. I am the first one to say to men, make sure that the coast is 100% clear before you hit the runway. And even then, if she is your coworker, you should probably just find another use of your time. Find another. When I went to Syracuse University, my father, he's a very honest man. He just says what's on his mind. He said basically, don't you F nothing on that campus. He said, when you go teach on that campus, if you want to protect your career, don't you date anybody on that campus. So you know what I did? I took my father's advice to heart. I did not date a single woman on that campus. So here's what happened. Let me tell you what happened, ladies. This is where it doesn't work for you. I met attractive, intelligent, amazing, single Black women on that campus, faculty members, grown ass women, not students. I would never get with a student. And they wanted me to ask them out. They wanted me to make a move. They were like, oh, this might be my big chance. He really likes me. And I'm thinking, yeah, I really like you, but I'm not going near this because it's too dangerous. If this goes bad and you go to HR, I'm going to end up looking like some sort of criminal because I did what men and women have been doing for the last 100,000 years. Men have been hitting on women since forever. And this idea that somehow that has become criminalized, everybody's paying the price for that. The men are paying the price because we get excited about a woman. We can't say nothing because we're like, oh, I don't want nobody to think I'm a rapist. I don't want nobody to think I'm a predator, right? And the women are like, dang, why won't he talk to me? Well, because the environment has become very anti-woman, anti-couple, anti-anything. If you are a man, think about this. You're working your job, ladies, and you got a man who might be like a senior manager. So you're attracted to him because he's got some money and he's got some status and he's got some power. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not weird. You're not a gold digger. Every biology book known to man tells you that women are they tend to be attracted to men that have power, status, and money. Ain't nothing abnormal about that. So you're attracted to this guy and you're trying to send every signal you can, making yourself available, batting your eyelashes, wearing your sexy dress. And because he's trying not to get fired, he's like not even looking at you. He's not even thinking about you. He's going to date some raggedy lady somewhere else that he don't even like as much as you because he's too scared of being violated. And so what I think here, when I think about this whole scenario with Musk, I'm not saying the world isn't going to be what it's going to be. I'm not saying that you don't have to honor the rules and respect the rules, but I'm also saying fuck the rules. Sometimes the rules are stupid. We get it. If a guy is creepy and doing stuff he shouldn't do and making too many moves and overextending and violating boundaries on a regular basis, highly inappropriate. We never suggest that for a man. But if a man just simply is like, hey, girl, I kind of like you. You look kind of good in that dress. And you say, thank you, but let's focus on, let's look at the annual reports, please. And you keep going. I don't think that necessarily means that man's got to go lose his whole career and be treated like a rapist and have to write a check for $400,000. I don't think that's so now again, though, that's not the same as Musk here. Musk actually whipped his junk out. I think that's inappropriate. Maybe he was drinking. Either way, it's not cool. If he had been a woman, he whipped his junk out. I don't think it would be treated the same. That's a fact. That's what I do believe. But at the same time, the bottom line for Musk is nobody knows what happened in that room. Nobody knows exactly how it went down. And the idea that she got $250,000. I mean, I don't know. I'm asking the most obnoxious question in the world. I'm asking the ladies. I'm asking everybody right now. Give me a yes or no. I want everybody to answer this question. If somebody said that, that a guy that you work with was going to whip out his junk and you had to see his junk, and in return for having the displeasure of seeing his junk, you were going to get a check for $250,000 and pay off all your student loans, pay off your house, and have investment money for the rest of your life, would you be willing to make that trade? Yes or no? Is that a trade you'd consider? Like, how would you feel? Would you still feel like you never got properly compensated? Or would you say, I didn't enjoy looking at his junk, but hey, I got $250,000 in the bank now. How would you feel? I think that the reason I asked that question, I know it's an obnoxious question, but I asked that question because sometimes the stuff seems a little weird to me. It seems a little bit weird to me because it's this idea that everybody who receives an advance from a man that they didn't actually want. Again, if it's a man they like and he whips out his junk, it's all good. But if if it's a man they don't like and he whips it out, then suddenly it's like it's like almost like you're a rape victim. And I don't think that's the case. I think that Matt Damon was right. And I know the Me Too movement came after him, when he said this, but I don't care. They can come after anybody. They can come after me if they want to. I don't care. But he's right. There's a continuum. There's the super creepy men that do super terrible things on this end. And then there's the man over here who just who needs to be kind of mentored a little bit on what's appropriate, right? Who needs to be maybe dealt with, but treating these men the same is not cool, not appropriate. I think everybody loses. I really believe everybody loses because I legitimately know powerful men who are just straight up afraid of any sort of interaction with a woman. I know guys that won't even have a conversation with a woman when no one's around. Like those days back in the Bill Cosby days where that this man is married and he invited you up to his room to have a private meeting at midnight. They're not doing that. They're like, no, we're gonna meet in the lobby with 2 other people there. And I'm not even coming to the meeting because I don't even want to give you a conversation that you can even use and flip it into something else. And the people that have created this terrible environment are not the people who are actual victims. I know women who've been victimized or been damn near terrorized or mistreated and everything in between. But the women, the ones that really kind of messed it up for everybody, the ones who take advantage of that, like the Amber Heards in the Johnny Depp trial. The Amber Heards are the ones who say, I can take anything a man says to me and misconstrue it completely. And there are complete idiots out here who will believe me just because I'm a woman, and they believe women can never tell a lie. And people who think that way, I think you should ignore them all. I really think those people should have no voice, no power, no nothing. I think there should be some sort of burden of proof if you're talking about ruining somebody's life or ruining their reputation or making that person look creepy. If there is no proof, then that probably means there is no proof in many cases. If there is no proof, there is no proof. And again, but if there is proof, then obviously that's a different bucket. You deal with it in a different way. So what do I think overall in conclusion in terms of Elon Musk? I think this is just kind of the beginning. I think that over time, you're going to see Musk get hit with more and more political stuff. He's going to get attacked left and right. Also, he's going to probably end up in court with Twitter, because that Twitter stock, it could keep going down. I mean, it's gone down to 36 something. It could go down, all the way down to the 20s. This market dip is not over. Musk is sweating it out. But this dip don't think that because it's been dipping so much that's going to stop. It can keep going even further. In fact, Jeremy Grantham believes that the losses could actually double. So that Twitter stock that's 30, that went from 80 something to 50 something to 36 could literally go down to 25, 22, 19 or whatever, right? So don't think that this is over. It could get worse. So anyway, that's my 2 cents, guys. I don't know. I would say I wish Elon Musk the best, but I don't know the guy, so I honestly don't care. I just thought it was interesting. I like to talk about things that are good learning points for all of us so we can understand a little bit better how the world works. And by the way, if you want to join the Black Business School, we are having an event with some of our faculty where basically it's a level up event. It's how to recession proof your life, how to sort of get ready for what's going to happen in the future. The recession is coming, stagflation is coming, all these things are coming. And so if you want to join our event, it's going to be on June 4th. We're going to have several faculty there. They're going to work with you on getting everything together in terms of your money, in terms of your mindset, in terms of your preparation for the future. You can go to b1wealth.com. That's b1wealth.com, and you can join the event, which is going to be on June 4th at 8 p.m. All right, guys, have a good day. God bless you. Hit the thumbs up button on your way out. Thumbs up, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you soon. Be good. Peace.